know how mad Andrew was that you guys did Good Friends?
What are you talking about?
I
To
never
go to-
seen him so mad. He was threatening lawyer.
What, he was gonna get a lawyer? Yeah.
Actually, it was very funny though. I saw it.
Kanye, I'm a huge fan of yours.
Thank you for recognizing my genius. That hair swoop, of course.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, I know if you were my braid, I would never have you here at a Ross Dress for Less. You'd be wearing Jimmy Choo's, red bottoms. I mean, that's the type of thing that I like to just provide for my woman.
I love your shirt.
Thank you. Blair Saki got it for me.
It's a really good shirt.
She got it for my birthday. A lot of my friends got me birthday gifts. Most of them did. The ones who care about me.
I didn't get you a birthday gift.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Oh, I'm sorry. That must have made you feel bad when I mentioned it.
Yeah.
I could imagine, because I know just randomly sometimes I just send you home with trays of cookies and stuff on a random day. So I could imagine not giving me something on the day of my birth and then finding out about it later would probably affect you.
The great thing is Ron has given me so much, and I didn't get him a gift, and now I'm red as a tomato. And I'm sweating. And I'm crying in the side. It was a good birthday though, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, it was a great birthday. Yeah, I loved it. It was real low key, just family and friends. Again, just people who truly care about me and love me, where they're supporting me, providing me. And my love language is gifts. That is just how I receive love.
This is something that I'm learning about you today, is that your language is gifts, because, you know, some people, their love language is text messages on their birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And I sent one of those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you did send one of those. You said happy birthday. You didn't add anything extra to it. You didn't say, oh, I enjoy you as a person, or it's been so nice to get to know you, or how that time you did my you being on my, letting me be on your podcast kind of focused me and got me in the acting class and really turned my life around.
Hold on, the spoilers. You're we're gonna get into that today on the podcast.
Okay.
Well, you know, I had, you know, like a general, you know, plan to get into that story, but it's pretty organically slapping me right in the face right now. So, when I did your podcast, which is now, it's been over a year probably, since I did Gettin Better. Check out Gettin Better if for whatever reason you're not watching or listening.
We did it live. We did it in person, so it's definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was probably a year and a half or more even.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I did Ron's podcast, and we had a really amazing conversation where basically there's sometimes in your life when you need a nudge in the right direction, is what I'll say. And it was one of those moments where it really affected me, and I took it in because Ron encouraged me. We were talking about how much I love acting and how much I love performing and stuff like that. He basically asked me if I was in an acting class and what I was doing to get better at that craft. And I, as a comedian, the comedian side of me was kind of like, I'm not really doing anything to get better in that way. And Ron ended up recommending me to an acting coach, an acting teacher that he's been working with for years. And I've been in class since. And I feel like I'm improving a lot, and I've gotten some cool opportunities where I feel like I've gotten real close and way closer than I would have been if not. And I really think that some really good stuff is going to come from that. And I've met just really amazing people just in general from that class. So you've connected me to a brand new network of people that are really positive that I want in my life. So I want to say thank you for that.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, I love that class, and I only introduce people to it that I think will fit into it because it's a little weird, you know. But I love it, and I just had an audition yesterday. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I feel like I nailed the audition. I don't know if I'll get the part, but it was just this feeling of like, I just like being in the running. I like that they gave me a call back. I like that they considered me for this part, and then it's a real acting like second lead part, and it's like, oh, I would have never gotten considered for that years ago, and I wouldn't have felt comfortable to be considered for that, and now I'm doing stuff like that all the time.
Yeah, while I've been in the class, I got to audition. It's for a big franchise, basically. That I can't really say, but I got good enough response where I got asked to audition for a different part a little bit later, and Myra was like, well, that's like just as good as a callback or better if they're trying to find you a spot on the show. So that just felt good, because I definitely don't think without that acting class that I would have gotten them have me looking for something else for me. So
yeah, it's nice when you went to just be like, oh, we like you. We won't, you might not be right for this, but you are talented. We like you. We want to find something for you. This will happen at some point. We'll find the right fit.
Yeah.
And that feels fucking way more better than like, I used to go to auditions and just, I remember I went to this one audition for, I think it was a Happy Family or some show, I don't remember, on ABC. And at the end of it, I just went like, you know what? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sorry.
What did they say to you?
And they agreed.
Do you have a worse audition story that comes to mind when I say worst audition?
It'd be that one.
It'd be that one?
It would be definitely that one, because I got pulled from auditions for a couple. That's what led me to Myra, because I had not gone to class before that point. And me bombing and feeling like the same feeling of bombing on stand-up, where I was just like, this sucks, but I know I can do better. I just don't know what to do. And that's when, I met Myra.
I had this audition that comes to mind for one of my worst auditions, just because it was for a legit network show. It was like a 2-line role, and I forgot one of the lines.
That's a 50-50. That's an F right away.
I know. I was so embarrassed, but I was just like, I literally was just like, I got to the second line and I was like, yeah, I don't remember it. And the casting director was so disappointed. He's like, what? I was like, yeah, I'm going to have to look at the script real quick. And he just goes, he like put his hand up by like his eyebrow and forehead. And then I did it again. And then I was like, I will probably never get called in by this casting director again.
Yeah.
I blew an opportunity.
Yeah. And that's like, that was the point I was at, where it's like, oh, I need to take this seriously, because you don't want to, it's not like just ruining one part. It's like, oh, this whole person, you either want to be in that middle where they're like, oh, you're forgettable, or you want to be good.
Yeah.
You don't want to be so bad that they go, oh, that person? No.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was at that point.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes one of those moments. The main thing was where if you don't fully commit, then you don't have as much skin in the game. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So if I'm like, I just didn't have time to rehearse, that kind of excuse.
Mm-hmm. I'm focusing on my stand-up.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's like, oh, I'm invincible still. But like now I'm really trying to put in the work where like if I don't get something, it's fine, because I put as much into it as I can. But before, I wasn't putting everything that I could. And I realized what I have been learning in that class is like, I have not been putting in the work on that side of things. Mm-hmm. And now I'm doing that and I'm seeing results. So it's cool.
That's exactly where I'm at right now. And just the fact that I think that's one of the few positives of the pandemic for me, was like, when I was like, oh, I can't really go on the road that much, and I don't, I can try to do it through acting and stuff and stay home.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's giving me a chance to like really focus on every role, even roles I don't want. I'll just go coach with Myra. Normally I wouldn't have. I would have been like, oh, I don't want it. So I'll just go. I don't care.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, oh, I'll just do it as a class. I coach for everything. I'll just coach for everything. And then that way I'm just practicing and staying in practice. And it was really, my wife, my manager, everybody's just been like, wow, like your acting has really improved in the last like 6 months.
Yeah. And you got a new show that's coming out.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Chop 420. There's no acting in that. That's just hosting and smoking weed.
That's just fun personality and giggles.
Yeah, just me living. It's the best job I could have. That's why I called you. For people who, I will be very transparent. I was like, I want to make a media blitz. I don't care where I'm going. And I want to like, well, this is my friend. I enjoy him. I love him. And definitely it's his birthday. Gifts galore. But I was like, I got to keep this job. I get to sit and watch chefs make food with excellent chefs make excellent culinary dishes with the best weed, and then they made me sign a contract saying that I was okay with smoking weed on camera. And I was like, do you know how many people make me sign contracts that I won't smoke weed on set? You going the other way with it?
Are you serious? Are you for real right now?
I'm so for real. I was like, they were like, you gotta be okay with the consumption of cannabis to be hired for this show.
You're like, how much do I owe you? Because I've never experienced this before.
I'm home.
I know, right? Can I tell people one of the things you gave me?
Yeah, sure.
This makes everything, anybody who follows my stuff closely, even funnier than the thing about me not giving Ron a gift for my birthday, because the PlayStation 4 that I have is because of Ron.
Well, I just didn't need it anymore.
I know, but I have used that so much.
Out there on that Twitch.
And I'm very grateful. You got me hooked up on Twitch. You and Eric Griffin were like pushing me to get on Twitch.
Yeah,
and
Eric's the Twitch father of comedy. He's the one who got me into it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you guys pushed me in that direction, and it's been super fun. Now I've been playing with you a little bit. We've done some Among Us here and there with some of our other friends on Twitch, and I'm trying to do it more. It's just one of those things where...
I hate this bottle, by the way.
Yeah.
My wife made me, I normally have a different top that screws off and I drink it like a man, and I lose it.
It's like a sippy.
Yeah, and then she's like, nobody, she goes, it's not a big deal. But I go, no, it's not.
What do you like these?
I do prefer that, but not enough water in there.
Oh, yeah.
I need double the water, but I don't want it to look like I'm on recess.
It does look a little bit like a tit.
Yeah.
Like,
or you turn it upside down, I'm a gerbil.
I'm so happy you just did that.
Me too. I didn't know it was going to make the sound.
It even made the sound, and one little dribble went down, and I was like, he is a gerbil. And just in case, for whatever reason, you run out of water, I got you one.
I appreciate that. I just never know. I try to come prepared. That's part of my new mindset with the everything. Just come in, not need. That's one thing Myra taught me. She was like, go into these auditions, not needing anything from anyone. And I'm like, that's kind of how I started doing it in the real regular world now.
Isn't that weird how sometimes philosophies with like improv and even with stand up that you find as you develop and work stuff out on stage, you're like, oh, why don't I do this in everyday life?
Mm-hmm.
This is a good habit just to implement across the board. That, I mean, it sounds maybe corny or whatever, but I try to live by the yes and mentality with life.
No, you don't, Oprah.
What?
You know that? You know that reference?
No.
I used to do this to my wife all the time. Oh, it's one of my favorite 30 Rock jokes of all time, because it's just the most hilarious improv joke of Jenna and Liz on their old improv group. And she's like, okay, let's take a suggestion. They're like, oh, Billy Bob Thornton and Oprah at a lunch. And then, so then Liz goes, I love these French fries taters. And then Jenna goes, no, you don't, Oprah. Like, that's such a smart improv joke. She no-butted him.
Yeah. Just right out the gate.
Yeah.
I mean, I've definitely done improv shows with those people over the years where you're like, we're in a basement. No, we're not. And it's like, I guess we're not. And then you're just like trying to scramble to justify where are we? Or people will do all the time, you're crazy. That's another big no in improv. As soon as people are like, this guy's insane. It's like, oh, okay, well, now you're just discrediting everything that person's saying.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to do that. And again, that's a rule you don't want to say in regular life.
He's insane.
Yeah. You don't know that person.
Right.
You don't know what they've been through.
Right.
Especially if they got more money than you. You should probably just maybe check in on what they doing. You know?
Yeah.
A lot of people are always like that. Oh, they're crazy. They're insane. They're problematic. And it's just like, but they also real successful.
They're really rich. So they must be doing something right.
Yeah. Maybe I could not do the negative parts.
Take a chapter out of their book.
Yeah.
And become wealthy myself.
Yeah. Do a little mixing and matching.
I know. I mean, people call Kanye crazy all the time.
That's who exactly I was thinking about.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Dude, that guy is a genius with publicity.
Mm-hmm.
He knows exactly what he's doing to twist people's nerves and stuff like that.
Thank you for recognizing my genius.
Kanye, I'm a huge fan of yours. Is there any words of wisdom that you can leave my viewers with?
Start a church. It's tax exempt.
Wait a second. Is that why you started the church?
Maybe I also like Jesus, but I love selling you a t-shirt for $200 even more.
Oh, he likes Jesus. He's a pretty good guy. Hey, what was up with that Trump stuff? What was going on? Now, do you actually like Donald Trump, or was that part of your show?
It's a little bit of both.
Wait, do you like him as a person or his politics?
I like his fashion sense.
Oh.
He matches his hat with his ties, and there's always a message. It's good branding.
Well, he does do like kind of color-coded dressing. I mean, I can't give him that he is a bit of a sharp dresser. I guess that makes sense, Kanye.
Yeah, and if you're a rapper, you never know when you're gonna go to jail, so it's good to have a pardon in your back pocket.
I never thought of it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any projects coming out soon, Kanye, that you're excited about?
I'm really working on this divorce.
Oh, that's right. You and Kim K are splitting up.
Mm-hmm.
Whose fault do you think that was?
Oh, you know, it's just how life works. I can't put blame on her. I love her. And you've seen, if you ever been to one of my concerts, you know I will waste half of your time making home videos of my wife and making you watch them at my concerts. And you already spent the $75, so you're gonna act like it was fun.
But what are you going to replace that content with? That's what I'm curious as a fan of your music, Kanye, the next time I go to a concert.
Well, I think it'll be a lot of my Tinder searches and Bumbles.
Hold up, you're just going to pull up Tinder searches and Bumbles on a projector?
If I have the proximity close and there's ladies at the concert that want to get with me, why not swipe right there on stage and bring them up and maybe do an old school dating game?
I mean, that honestly sounds like an amazing concert experience.
I'm a genius.
Dude, I would pay money to go see Kanye live swipe on stage. Because I'll tell you what, the amount of my friends, Ron, that I have asked, if they're on Tinder and they have their phone out, I'm like, oh, you're on Tinder? I'm like, can I can I watch you swipe for a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's so interesting to me what people's preferences are. Like what will make them go, no. And then what will make them go, yeah, I like this girl. Because I never agree with them. I never agree with them across the board. I'm always like, really?
Tell me something that made someone go no and you didn't agree with.
Oh, just, I mean, what seemed like a nice or like a pretty girl, and they're just like, no.
Was there something when you were single that would have made you, if you saw a profile picture, you go no right away?
I mean, if a girl had a face tattoo, I would keep swiping.
Oh no, that's intriguing.
Really?
I think that's a bit intriguing.
Like if she had a Mike Tyson tattoo wrapped around her eye.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel like it depends. If I'm looking on a relationship, maybe no. But if I'm looking for just like a quick thrill, she sounds thrilling.
I mean, she for sure sounds thrilling.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess the apps are hard for me in general if I'm looking at them in that way, because if I was looking for a relationship, I probably wouldn't be on Tinder. You know what I mean? If I was just like in the hookup world, but let's say alternate timeline Jeremiah, he's crushing it left and right.
The hair swoop, of course.
I mean, come on. Then maybe I would, hook up with a girl with a face tattoo just for the thrill of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm glad that I just don't like, I mean, everybody, the butterfly wings, or if you're like, it's just not much else than that. Everything else is on the table. Even slight racism, you would be like, well, let's see if I could turn you around.
Have you ever dated a girl that you thought might be racist?
Usually not. No, maybe. Family, yes.
That was 8 answers in 4 seconds. No, yeah, okay. Well, some family.
They're family, sure.
Yeah.
Yes, multiple times.
Well, yeah.
But I'm saying, especially not in LA. It usually has gone like the other way. Like I remember I dated a girl, and one time we were just hanging out, and she was just like, I just want to apologize for what my people have done.
No, I gotta ask you a question. And I'm so curious. Did you use that to your advantage in the next 30 minutes or an hour?
Oh yeah.
That's what I would have done too. I mean, you'd have to. If somebody's apologizing on behalf of all people, you'd be like, well,
time for some reparations.
It is my birthday. What was it? Did you ever have any dinners that you've been to, like, of dating a girl where you're like, oh, the dad or the mom, my little gerbil over there, the dad or the mom is like, you can feel it, like at the dinner table, like, oh, something's a little bit off here.
Oh, as far as like racism,
yeah.
There? No, not really. No, I don't really go to dinner with a lot of people's moms.
Yeah.
I think maybe just 2, and both of them were pretty chill.
Yeah, I had a like a black stepdad for a little while, and for like a couple years.
Mm-hmm. That's how long they last. That's just a joke. That is.
The expiration date is ticking.
Yeah, it's a hacky joke, but it was fun.
It was fun.
We're trying to break that stereotype down. Strong black fathers. They're everywhere. I'm one of them, but it's also fun.
There was people in my family that had issues with my mom dating a black guy, for sure. Because there's like, just people in Kansas and stuff like that. They're like, oh, that's edgy. It's like, no, it's not that big of a deal.
No, I've seen it. They're very segregated. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's fun. But that's also what's fun. That's usually where you find the most segregated areas. And then their porno searches are always like interracial, relationships. They're always that because it's more taboo.
Right. Anything that's taboo is like a turn on for people. They're like, oh, well, that's in my area. That's nobody would approve of that.
Yeah. So I want it.
I want it. Was that an impression of my mom? I want it.
I want it. I want that chocolatey black man.
You know what goes good on a Sunday? chocolate.
Nothing on a vanilla sundae is plain unless you're adding that hard food.
Oh man, I'm so glad we're friends.
Yeah, it's fun. I
It's
enjoy
fun.
it.
Dude, I had so much fun on your Christmas special
Oh,
that you
thank
put together. That was so much fun.
That was so fun and so silly, and I was so glad I was surrounded by people like you and Blair and Gabe. That because you know, if all it really could have taken was one person to turn on it, you know.
Well, yeah, whenever it's a virtual interactive show, it's like if somebody has a sour attitude or something, that's like a quarter of the cast that's on the show. It's like that's high stakes for. So yeah, you got to trust the people who you're working with for, you know, something that's like kind of newer and stuff like that. And it was so fun.
But that's exactly, you know, it gets me back to what we start comedy. Why I started comedy, to just do silly things with my friends, and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't, but we have fun and we enjoy them and we try to refine them. And that truly, like doing that, I left that after doing that with you guys being like, oh, I just want to figure out a way to work with my friends more and to do that on a bigger scale with a lot more money, you know? Yeah.
Does that footage live anywhere, or was it just for the week that it was up?
It was just for the week that it's up, but I have it. If you want it, I can just send it to you.
Well, I was thinking I might post in this episode. We'll see just a little clip of our Ellen confusion.
Oh, a classic comedy bit you could not script.
I'm gonna play that clip right now.
Came in feeling so low and down, and now I feel like maybe there are some upsides to this year.
Like what?
Well, I mean, like Elliot Page. That's cool. I love Elliot Page.
Jeremiah doesn't know what you're
I don't know what you're talking about.
Are you not familiar with Elliot Page? Elliot Page used to be known as Ellen Page and is now come out as transgender and prefers the terms of he or them and is now a male known as Elliot Page.
That's how she's gonna try to get out of her mess.
I just think it's cool and it's brave. I don't think there's
Elliot?
anything braver than turning from a white woman to a white man.
I mean, as if she couldn't get a worse position in Hollywood.
I feel like people are gonna turn on you for this.
Maybe. Just joking, people. I can say that. I look like Elia.
You don't even know.
How to say? No, he just says Elia over and over. And no one correct him, please.
Oh wait, I was thinking Ellen DeGeneres.
No.
Oh, I thought
Talking about
Ellen
Juno from
DeGeneres.
Juno. Oh, you thought this whole time.
I thought this whole time that you were talking about Ellen DeGeneres and that she was coming out as transgender
As
now.
Elliot Page.
As Elliot Page, and they were going to come out back with the Elia show on TV. Yes, I did. I don't know why I had the disconnect. I don't know what. I hear Ellen. That's the only Ellen in my mind.
I never said Ellen. Well, I guess I did say
You
Ellen.
said Ellen to
Page.
Elia.
Yeah, no, I said to Elliot.
So you
I
said-
put the T on there.
Oh, I didn't hear it. That's why you're looking at me like, wow, Jeremiah's really digging himself a hole right here. I'm like, what? Ellen was mean to people. She deserves it.
That's how she's gonna get out of this mess. I was like, I thought my joke was gonna be the rough one on there.
The best Christmas special.
To say that I was confused was an understatement of the situation, but that was what was so fun about it.
Yeah, and I just like that I enjoyed you so much that at no point did I just shut you down.
Well, that was the thing. That's like a sign of a good improv partner is you just gave me a look like, Jeremiah, where are you going with this?
I'm gonna let you keep going.
Yeah. Keep digging or dig yourself out. And then it worked out. It was beautiful. I had multiple people that messaged me that they're like, that ended up being one of my favorite moments of the show because you and Ron were just like, you could tell you were having so much fun and it was just such a ridiculous situation.
Yeah. No, I loved it. I would love to do some shows with you or just whatever. That we can hang out on stage and do stuff. I love that.
Yeah. I prepared you sent me a couple songs.
Oh.
That you said were a couple of your favorite songs, and I learned them to the best of my ability.
Okay.
And I figured we would do a little sing along right now. And I'll give you the key, so you I'll give you a couple times around the key.
We'll see. I'm gonna do my best. So maybe my singing coach will listen. Across 110th Street, pimps trying to get your woman as we. Across 110th Street, bushes won't let the junkie go free. Across 110th Street, woman's trying to catch a trick on the street. Ooh, baby, across 110th Street, you can find it all on the street. Okay, that's a good one.
Right?
I like that.
Yeah, it feels good.
Ooh.
Hit it!
Across 110th Street, pimps trying to catch a woman that's weak. Ooh, across 110th Street,
Pushers won't let the junkies go free.
don't let them go free.
Across
110th Street,
woman trying to catch a drink on the street. Oh, baby,
across 110th Street, you can find it all in the street.
hit it!
Across 110th Street, you can find anything 2 for $3. Ooh, baby, across 110th Street, there's a new Caribbean restaurant out here that's pretty sweet. Ooh, across 110th Street, there's an electronic store that's going out of business. Go there within the week.
Across 110th Street. There's a Best Buy opening up pretty soon around the corner that's pretty good. That used to be a Circuit City.
Across 110th Street, they shut down a place because it turned out to be a meth lab.
Ooh,
Across 110th Street,
there's a man living in an Arby's that I used to call father back in 1982. Across 110th Street. Ooh, across 110th Street.
say hi if you see Monday.
I love all the things across 110th Street. Oh man, that was a good time. Bobby Womack. I was actually, I don't know if impressed is the right word, more intrigued at a couple of the song choices that you sent me, because I love oldies music and stuff like that. And I was like, oh wow, some of these are like deeper cuts.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just what I grew up off of. Usually my mom had a real eclectic sense of music, and just growing up in Chicago, like a lot of things I took for granted, but like a lot of my first concerts, she took me to see B.B. King, Muddy Waters, Morris Day and the Time, and then just going out to Oregon, I started liking bands like No Doubt and Garbage, and so I always had like this eclectic sense of like everything. So I just love music, really.
Yeah. What was one of your favorite concerts that you went to?
Ooh, immediately springing to mind, the most fun I ever had was Parliament Funkadelic, George Clinton, no openers, just 3 hours of them, and it was amazing. Just dancing for 3 straight hours, like my feet were hurting, and I'm just like, I can't stop dancing though. It was the best time. It was the time that got me to where I was like, I want to be an entertainer, because I remember I have been thinking about getting in comedy a lot at that time, and I went with my ex-wife to go see the Parliament and had the time of my life, and I saw them all loading up into a bus, and I was like, oh, they're going to go do this again tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I'm going back to work at this bank, and I don't like that one fucking bit.
Yeah. That's one of those pivotal moments where you're like, I can change things.
Yeah.
Isn't that a great feeling at a concert when your feet are so tired from dancing, but you don't care because you're having so much fun just moving?
Yeah.
I love that feeling.
It's rare. It's spiritual.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then not the only other, but the other one that felt like a spiritual thing like that was at Outside Lands in San Francisco. I saw Stevie Wonder, and he just turned the entire place into, like, he turned the entire fairground into a musical. Like, everything was moving to his beat. Everything. You saw people yards down the way just dance, full swing dancing together. The vendors driving their trucks were like hitting their brakes to his beat. Like, it was as if I was in the most expensive Pepsi commercial ever created.
You're looking around, you're like, are you getting this? This is good.
Yeah, you couldn't. They're not going to be a second take on this, so
Yeah.
you better catch this.
Yeah, that's like, I mean, there's certain concerts that are that you look around and it's like you see how deeply it's affecting people, and you're like, oh, this is kind of like a religious experience, like with the music and stuff like that. A couple that come to mind as far as like kind of like moment kind of things that happened was one of the coolest just performances that I've seen with lights and everything was LCD Sound System. And it made it super fun too that it was a bunch of comics that were at Bonnaroo, and we're all just like watching it. And I remember like Ari Shaffir was like shrooming and stuff, so he was like in an amazing mood, like even happier than than Ari usually is. And it was like Josh Adam Myers, and we were there with the Comedy Jam that year, and we were just all watching this amazing light show, and everybody's just in an amazing mood, and we had like a cool like kind of section because we had badges, and it was like that. And then Radiohead in San Francisco was where you looked out and just saw people like feeling it. Where you're like, whoa, this is like moving people right now. This is a moment in time. That was just like really amazing.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get back to some concerts. That's one of the things that the pandemic reaffirmed in me, because I was like, because the last couple of concerts I went to, because I also like a lot of hip hop, I was like, I'm clearly in my mid 30s, and a lot of these people are in their teens and early 20s and want to fight each other. So maybe I should stop coming to this. But guess what? I'm gonna be there.
Isn't it weird, like certain concerts where you're like, oh, this is how fights break out? Like you look around and you're like, these people, there's some people who just go to concerts that are like wanting to get out their aggressions in the mosh pits and stuff. And I've just seen people leave with like bloody faces and all that stuff. And where I'm like, oh, you came here for this. This is you. This is the beating that you wanted.
Oh, see, and that's two different styles. Because I didn't go to those type of concerts ever. That's a very, I mean, not to be racial, but very Caucasian type of concert.
Oh, for sure.
And mine was, but you go the other way, where you be like, well, then why did you wear your crisp white shoes to this dancing area if you
and
now
you didn't
wanna
expect for them to be stepped on,
and now you want to fight me,
right?
Yeah that's ridiculous. Wear some darker colored shoes that can withstand a scuff.
Maybe chill out. And you know what helps you chill out? Caliper CBD.
Oh, you got ad read?
Ron looked forward. He's like, I don't see this on the script. I have a very neurotic friend that I gave some Caliper to, and it really calmed her down. Caliper is a better way to take CBD. No more gross oils or tinctures you have to put under your tongue. Caliper CBD powder is completely tasteless and mixes it easily in food or drink. No weird taste, no oily residue or mouthfeel. Best part is, it all comes precisely measured. Each packet contains 20 milligrams of CBD. Never question how much CBD you're taking again. It's clinically proven that you absorb 450% more CBD with Caliper powder compared to tinctures. That's crazy. So try it today. Get 20% off your first order when you use promo code Jeremiah at trycaliper.com/Jeremiah. You can try Caliper CBD risk-free for 30 days. If you don't love it, they'll give you a full refund. That's trycaliper.com/Jeremiah. Don't forget promo code Jeremiah for 20% off your first order.
That's the Caliper alarm.
Oh, snap.
Better get you some.
Get that CBD. CBD.
And when you flying off that CBD, check out Chop 420.
See, the worlds are meshing and molding together right now. It's all working out. You've been taking some singing lessons, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How do you like it?
I like it because I like doing things I'm not confident in and just kind of get more of a base about it. And she makes me feel more confident about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm still learning. I don't know much of anything, but I just enjoy it. And then I sang a song for my wife for Valentine's Day and made her cry. And so then I was like, this is good. And I like this. Wow. And it's just nice to do something just because I want it as a hobby. Like, it's not like I'm putting out an album or anything like that.
But you are on, I mean, technically.
I'd have put out multiple albums.
You have,
yes.
I mean, you're on the Trolls soundtrack, which is like, that is a lot, heck of a more than people can say. I mean,
I do have a track with Timberlake and Gwen Stefani and myself, and that is, you know, as one does.
As one does. That's gotta be that's gotta be one of those career things for you where you see that your name on a track listing and you're like, what is happening? What? I mean, legitimately, like, even as your friend, like, you know, I try for my guests, even if they're close friends, I try to do a little bit of research on them and just see what happens when I Google. And even for me, like, when I saw that, like, just like in the parentheses, like Justin Timberlake, Gwen Stefani, and Ron Funches, I'm just like I already knew it, but just to see it, I was like, this is weird, man. That's crazy.
It's insane. I love it. It's the best part of this life to me is the part of like a life of just taking chances and putting in effort and just being like, well, whatever. It's like, you never know what's going to happen. You never know where you're going to be or who you run into, and be like, oh, I'm in a vocal booth being coached by Justin Timberlake, who's taking it way more serious than I am, is insane. And it's a story that I will remember until I'm dead. It's great.
I mean, of course. That's like a bucket. I mean, for me, I'm a huge Justin Timberlake fan, so that would be like a bucket list, like, checked off.
I mean, it's just.
Was there anything that he coached you harder on than others? Like, yeah, you need to nail this specifically, or
it was more like, you're in my world now. Because I was trying to be funny. Because I was like, I'm Cooper in here. And then so I'm gonna sing the thing, and I'm gonna sing off key for fun. I'm going to not try.
Right.
And he was like, I don't need you to take this seriously.
Excuse me, Ron. I need you to actually push from the diaphragm and not the throat.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. No, and do it like this. Huh?
No.
All right, this is an animated sing along.
Can you do that, Ron? Listen, Ron, I know your character's like gonna be singing and stuff like that, like, and I know he kind of talks like in a funky way, but I need you to be real here, okay? There's Grammys on the line.
Yes, sir, Mr. Timberlake.
Now repeat after me. We're getting somewhere.
For me, I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall. Like just seeing that whole recording session go down.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It was, yeah, because it was like literally just me, him, and a sound engineer. That's it.
You're like, why are we in your bedroom?
Why do I have to be naked for this?
Yeah. Well, you see, all the trolls are naked, so taking it like way too meta. You got to get into character, Ron. So.
Put on this hat and get naked.
Also, pierce your belly button. I'm gonna bedazzle you real quick. Like, what is happening? This makes zero sense whatsoever. I don't know about this. I don't know about this whole thing.
No, it's safe. She works at Claire's. She can do it.
Claire's. Wait, you're actually piercing me for this? I thought it was going to be a stick-on. Did you ever have to wait with a friend or anybody at Claire's to get their ears pierced?
Yeah, I got my ears pierced at a Claire's.
Wow.
And I went with my dad, who also talked about getting his ears pierced, which should have been a big sign of like, maybe I shouldn't do this.
Your dad got his ears pierced?
No, he didn't, but he was like, maybe I'll do it too. And then like I literally had my ears pierced for like 2 weeks, and I was like, I don't want to wear earrings anymore.
Yeah. My dad, he wouldn't let my cousin come to the pool hall with us unless he took his earring out.
This is my church. This is my family, my friends over here, and I just can't have you represent me
at a pool hall. Where sometimes there's like the biggest degenerates of people I've ever met in my entire life have been at pool halls.
You're gonna respect this pool. We take our hats off. We take our earrings.
We keep it clean when we play on the green. And get this, my cousin had just gotten his ears pierced, so by the time we got home from the pool hall, they closed back up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll happen.
Yeah. That gives you Kansas perspective on my upbringing. It's like, oh, okay. You get a real good idea.
That's the plan all along.
That was the plan to close up, get back in church and close up those ear holes.
So I heard your special's just on Amazon now for free. People could just watch it.
It is, Ron. Yeah, on April 8th, it becomes free for everybody to watch.
Money? Did you get more money because of that?
I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe I should ask.
Look into it. At
least. I should look into that.
I mean, I know I did, and all my stuff went over to Paramount Plus, but I was like, I don't get any money. But still, please watch my shit.
Yeah, you have a lot of stuff on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, my hour, Giggle Fit, my half hour, my bunch of my 15s. Yeah.
If you want to go down the Comedy Central rabbit hole, we got a lot of stuff. On there. The Comedy Jam's now on there. Roast Battle's on there.
Adam Devine's House Party.
Lights Out with David Spade, I think, is on there too.
Just basically, they were like...
Is At Midnight on there?
It might be. I don't know.
If it is, I mean, people who love you on At Midnight.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be a huge rabbit hole for them to go down because you're on there a lot.
Yeah.
Freaking champ over here, dog.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. That belt holder, son.
Well, I mean, when you buy it and make it yourself.
Don't tell people that, Ron. Viacom paid for it. Because they're a very generous company, as we both know.
Yeah, oh yeah. Very heartfelt, people-friendly company.
I want to get into this next segment. It's called Fanning Out.
Fanning Out. Questions from fans.
I thought you were going to have a fan. I truly thought you were going to pull out a fan.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I really did.
You're like, this guy has props and wigs. Like,
I know he's
I
going.
know Jeremiah. He's just gonna.
And next segment.
You're like, all right, dude, calm down with your literal fans over there. But that is the graphic, the title card.
Oh, I love that.
There's like a fan blowing my hair.
Oh, cute.
Yeah. This comes from. Well, I'll ask this question.
These are from when you get people to ask me questions?
Yeah.
Oh, because I saw you doing the thing, and then I look amongst the thing, and then every time I just get angry because people were so rude.
Here, I try to always filter those out, and that's the reason people ask me all the time. They're like, "Why didn't you tag the comedian in this post?" I'm like, because if I tag them, they'll specifically go there.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't tag them, they might not see it. But there's people who are sometimes rude with any guest that I have.
Of course.
And they're maybe trying to be funny or whatever, but like, I'm like, I don't want the guests to see this. Like, I don't want that, to be a reflection of the people who are following my profile. But, I mean, you responded to one that I laughed out loud when this random guy asked, he's like, hey man, how come Trolls was $20? Trolls 2 was $20 on pay-per-view. And Ron just responded, from Maximum Profit. It was the best. Yeah. It's like the best response for like, because literally somebody's trolling you about trolls. It's so meta. It's so weird.
If you want to know the answer, I'll tell you.
I'll tell you. The residuals is real in this game. We are brought to you by MyBookie. We are deep into college basketball tournament season, and there's no better place to get in on the action than MyBookie. Score big with MyBookie's bracket contest. Win $10,000 in cash prizes. It's only $1 to enter. How? Select winners from 63 tournament games. It doesn't matter whether you're filling out multiple brackets, betting the national championship winner, or simply looking for player and game props. MyBookie has you covered. Sign up today at MyBookie.ag and use promo code Jeremiah to secure a deposit bonus up to $1,000. What? That's crazy. That's promo code Jeremiah to claim your first deposit bonus. Support them because they're supporting this podcast. College ball, NBA, and NHL, no matter the sport, no matter the minute. From tip-off to buzzer, MyBookie puts the action in your hands with in-game live betting. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. If you like this shirt I'm wearing, maybe go check it out at jeremiahwatkins.com along with some other great merch like Sax hats and a bunch of my other character shirts. Now let's get back into this pod with my buddy, Ron Funches. Since we were talking about giving and stuff at the top of the podcast, Ron has been very generous with me. Van.Bramer said, what's your favorite way that you've been able to give back in any/some way since achieving fame?
I mean, most of those things I like to keep private. But I will say two things that recently that I really enjoyed. One of them was just like Paul Scheer just told me about this charity called Miles for Migrants. And it's just about using all the frequent flyer miles that we get anyway from traveling so much that I end up not using and end up having to refund or something. And using them to like, reunite people in other countries. So I just got this random email the other, but you kind of have to follow up and do it and everything. So I got this email of basically being like, oh, there's this kid that lives in Belgium from Afghanistan, and he was, they got him out of the country because he was trying to be recruited into like, one of these extremist groups. And so he lives in Belgium. He's got citizenship and he could bring his family now, but they didn't have a way to get over there. And so they were like, if you have enough miles, like you can bring the whole family of 8 over there if you want to just do that. And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'll do that. And then just being like, oh, I put a family of 8 back together. That was really cool. I mean, I didn't do anything. I just had those miles. And the other one is trolls related. That's like, I get a lot of people who are friends of mine and stuff who don't, who have kids, and they'll be like, oh, like it's cool that my kid now is a fan of your work. And in particular, I had a friend who was like, oh, we were just my daughter is in the hospital for this procedure, and we don't really know exactly what's going on yet, and we've been a little scared, and so she's just been watching her favorite movies back to back all the whole time we've been here, and those are Trolls 1 and 2. And she was like, and I didn't know until like our 6th time watching it, you're in that movie. I didn't know. You're her favorite character. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I go, and I do this anytime someone sends me a little message like that. But I was like, oh, I'll make her a little voicemail. And so I send her a little voicemail as Cooper, just being like, you got this, you know, don't be scared. We're all rooting for you in Trolls Village and everything. And then the next thing, we end up corresponding back and forth for 3 days while she's in the hospital of her. The daughter just sent me little videos being like, I'm okay, Cooper. I'll be fine. I got this. I'm going home today, Cooper.
That's so sweet, man.
Yeah, it was the best. And,
yeah, that's an amazing answer to that question. That's so cool.
Yeah, and it doesn't cost me, you know, just like 30 seconds out of my day, send a little voicemail.
See, I mean, that's an amazing positive way to look at it, because, you know, a lot of actors or comedians would not be, you know, they'd see it as like as an annoyance, like, ugh, I got to follow up with Miles to bring a family of 8 back together. I mean, I guess.
I mean, I did offload it. I didn't do it.
And I had an assistant do it, but it was still it was still a good deed.
I like how that makes me sound.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's solid.
It's successful.
Yeah. I'm guessing something. I don't know the backstory, but this you'll probably know right away. Justin Byers on Instagram says, "What can San Antonio do to win you back?"
Oh, that's rough. That's difficult. Yeah, the backstory is that I went to the LOL, Laugh Out Loud in San Antonio.
Been there?
You
Yeah.
have been there. So if you have been there, you know it's not the. I mean, I won't speak for you. Maybe you want to go back, but it's not my favorite comedy club to visit at all. And just go in there. I mean, I have my own playlist and things, like I have my writer and everything, like play my music. They just ignored everything that I wanted. They're just playing the Beatles the whole weekend, which is fine if you like the Beatles. I enjoy some of their work, but it's not necessarily the tone I want.
Please welcome to the stage, Ron Funches. Love me do. You know I love you.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
It's not really the energy starter that I...
Not what my bag is.
Night 2, Eleanor Rigby. And it's like, hi.
Yes, deep cuts. Yes.
You're like, what are you guys playing?
Just like Beatles anthology is what he would play. And then just bad shows. And I just knew it from the get-go, because as soon as we walked in the door, the manager goes, "Are you the comedians?" And I was like, well, you should know. I don't expect everyone to know who I am here.
Yeah.
But maybe the guy who booked the talent should know.
Also, is it cool if I play Octopus Garden to bring you up? What? Ringo's song?
And I just proceeded to have several mediocre to horrible shows. And then it was also just the environment outside of it. The hotel I was in was having a police officers convention, so I had to move hotels to another hotel whose TVs didn't work, and I had brought my PlayStation, so I was very angry. And anytime I tried, I've judged a lot of places by their tolerance to marijuana. Like, if I show up at a place and I can get marijuana within an hour, you're an amazing place. I enjoy you.
Sure.
If I just bring my own marijuana and you're cool with it, you're a pretty cool place.
Yeah.
But if I bring my own marijuana and I'm smoking off in some place and people are coming around who are not police officers to go, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" Then I hate your fucking city. And that's you, San Antonio. It's the reason you lost the Alamo.
Whoa.
Yeah, I said it. I know it's this fresh scar with you.
This is like cutting a wrestling promo against the city of San Antonio.
Oh, they know it. They already know it because they turned on me first. But I just said I had a bad weekend. And then guess what happened?
What?
A blogger from San Antonio decided to write a whole article about how I'm a bad comedian, and if I was a good comedian, I would have had a good weekend in San Antonio. And so guess what? I fucking hate you more, San Antonio. Suck my dick. I love Texas, Austin,
Houston, Dallas, Lubbock. Yeah, I've been in all parts of Texas.
Oh no, he didn't just say Lubbock over San Antonio.
All day Lubbock over San Antonio. And they got hell of a mosquito problem in Lubbock. You gonna get ate alive in Lubbock. But I'd rather be there. Except for Greg Popovich, you are the salt of the earth. I love you. You are keeping that place together. But even he knows. He knows. That's why he's so outspoken.
I'll be at the LOL Comedy Club in 2 weeks from now. Just kidding. Just kidding. That was the last place I performed at right before the shutdown, though. Literally, it felt like a horror film because not the weekend. I had a fun weekend there, but it was somebody had just said that like there was a COVID outbreak in the mall down the street.
That sounds like San Antonio. Probably just somebody walking around no shoes, just out there being dirty, sneezing on each other. That's what they do there. Before the pandemic, after the pandemic, this is what they was known for.
It literally felt like a zombie movie was starting to happen, like the apocalypse, because somebody's like, I heard somebody just got COVID at the mall. And I was like, the mall's right there. I can point to it from here. They're like, yeah, it's close. I'm like, what?
It's encroaching.
Yeah. I'm like, is it going to be here by the end of this weekend? Probably. I felt like I got out just in the nick of time, like by the time I left, just like the way people were talking about it and stuff.
Yeah, it was really like, when you think about those weekends right before the pandemic and stuff, I remember people talking about it a little bit, but I'd be out at shows still hugging people, high-fiving everybody.
I know.
I was just like, whatever. And then the next, it's like, no, we're all in our house now.
I know. It's so crazy.
I know. I can't wait to get vaccinated all up and get back out there.
I got vaccinated, and Sunday will be 2 weeks since my second vaccine.
Nice.
Yeah.
I got my second appointment next week.
Heck yeah.
And next Friday.
Nice. Heck yeah, I know. It'll be nice to actually go inside people's houses again.
Yeah, I like that. I want to, I got to post it on there. People really responded to it. I want to throw a little party in my backyard.
Yeah.
People can still be a little socially distant. We play nothing but one-hit wonders. We call it school dance.
Oh, yes.
And we get dressed up and we have a good little prom type thing.
That'll be great.
I would love to do it. I didn't get to have a wedding party, so, and then this maybe give you a good chance to bring a gift.
I will be bringing a gift to this thing. I've heard that that's your love language.
People have said that.
The Mighty Boognish. I just met this couple over the weekend at one of my shows. They came out to one of my shows, so shout out to you guys. Had an amazing time. We went and got smoothies after the show. Good people, awesome supporter of the show. What is the ultimate Sega Dreamcast game?
Oh, I mean, there's multiple, but I would feel like the one that immediately comes to mind when I think of Sega Dreamcast is probably Soul Calibur. I love Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur was so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it blew your mind at the time.
It really did.
The graphics were unlike, you were going from Street Fighters, 2D Street Fighters mostly. Virtual Fighter did exist, but they looked like blocks. And then now you were like in a full 3D world fighting a sex fiend named Voldo who had scissors for hands. And you're like, this is the best. And there was also Ivy, the whip lady. It was all S&M related.
Yeah, I mean, we went from the girls being 2D in Blitz to 3D women, and I was just like, ah! Like, I thought the cheerleaders were bad in Blitz. And then Soul Calibur comes along, and teenage me is like, whoa. What's happening?
Well, they added that booby jiggle physics for a reason.
Who is the engineer behind that? Where's his award for that?
Yeah, he's like, you know how we got to make games more realistic. It's just everybody's asking for it, and there's nothing more. Everybody knows when a woman's just standing, her boobies just happen to jiggle.
It's science.
Just they're in constant motion like a lava lamp within her chest.
That's how I like my women. Like lava lamps. Constantly popping and locking. A little bit of twerking going on. It doesn't matter the situation. We can be at a funeral. It's all good. It makes everybody feel better and more comfortable. This one comes from Rob Fuentes, 92. What TV series was the most fun to work on, and who did you have the most chemistry with? I know it's kind of a hard question.
Yeah, those are two different answers too.
Well, let's go with the chemistry one. Who were you like right away on a TV show that you worked at? It doesn't have to be the best, but it can be like, oh wow, I just have great chemistry right away with this person.
Oh, I got that answer right away. Danny Pudi.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, oh yeah. I love working with him. He's amazing. He's the ultimate yes-ander.
Yeah.
He's right there with you, and he's making you feel funnier with everything that you say. So it makes you feel more confident. He's just a great guy. In general, I like him as a person and his commitment to his family and health and everything, and just very similar in our mindsets about the business and about the way we live our lives. And to meet him and to learn that made me feel more confident in the way I was doing things. And I just if any chance I get to work with Danny Pudi, I would take it in a heartbeat. He's an amazing underutilized talent.
That's awesome. This one comes from GLM Webster on Instagram. What's been Ron's favorite and least favorite parts about losing weight?
Okay. Yeah. Those are fun. There's I'll tell you, a lot of favorite parts. Favorite parts, more energy. Real into the more energy. I'm was talking about this with my wife earlier, and people probably don't want to hear this in society, but through the more opportunities that I've received, I don't necessarily feel like, I was like a third lead in a movie recently, Dark Web Cicada 3301. Don't let the title fool you. It's a good movie. Rent it wherever you can, and just hosting like this Chop 420 on Discovery Plus. I was like, they don't necessarily. Maybe I could because I'm very charming, but I don't feel like I would have felt confident. I don't feel like I would have felt like able to do as many things. I feel so I guess the answer is energy, confidence, and clothes. Like I just, when I was heavier,
the fashion.
Yeah, fashion for heavy dudes is lacking. I would actually love to help that, because when I was a big dude and I still love fashion. I still looking nice and everything. Talked about it before. Either had big dogs on it or giant flowers.
I was a big dog kid.
You were a big dog kid. Out there in Kansas City, they love the big dog.
They
out there.
love it. My uncle, I call him Uncle Big Dog because he literally only wore big dog clothing for years and years. So we'd call him Uncle Big Dog. Shout out to my Uncle Todd, Uncle Big Dog. I love you, bro.
Yeah, but see, that I didn't want to be defined by the dog on my clothes.
Like being called Uncle Big Dog?
Yes.
I think he liked it. Wait, I find out right now, like I'm contemplating, like, he didn't even like the name. We called him it for years.
That's what drove me to eat. Things I don't like about it, not eating the things that used to be super fun for me, working out all the time, even though I kind of enjoy it now, people asking me a lot of questions about it, learning that it was a lifelong thing and not something I could just stop after I reached the goal. Until I reached the goal, I was like, okay, then I can stop. And then I put on 10, 15 pounds right after I stopped. And I was like, oh, okay, this is for life? This is the NWO?
For life. For life. Do you think that if you, like, as your heavier self, you said that you don't think that certain opportunities wouldn't have arisen. Do you think that it would have pigeonholed you too much as like the big guy?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And they would be nervous to maybe have you host a show like Chop, because now you look like svelte, you look really good and trim and put together. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But like maybe in their minds, I always like with certain bigger comics, I remember a story about Ralphie May where they're like, he's so big right now. It's a concern. Like he's like too big to look at on camera because people are starting to worry about him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely know what you mean.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. And I was at that point at some points in my life. So it was something that I just had to handle it's all been positive, really. I feel like I'm going to live longer unless somebody takes me out. Who knows? And
The only place you're getting taken out is for dinner on me because a gift is coming your way soon, pal.
I can't wait.
People wanted us to act this out. They want me to be an angry Karen, a misinformed Karen, and Ron, you're a retail employee trying to be calm and deal with me.
No, I think that works for a Karen.
I think this could work for a Karen.
Because you're angry because of your haircut.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They really messed me up. They really messed me up. Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Yes, ma'am?
Yes.
How can I help you?
I have a coupon for 50% off
You
two
have a
pair of
what now?
shoes. A coupon.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
I have a coupon for 2 pairs of shoes. Buy one, get one, 50% off.
Yes, ma'am.
All of these shoes don't fit me. What am I supposed to do with this coupon?
Well, have you decided? I can't control the size of the shoes. We get new shipments every week. Perhaps you want to come back next week?
I have a wedding to go to.
Oh, of course you do. That's exciting. Are you the lovely bride?
Yes.
Oh, that's shocking.
Is that a problem?
No, it's
that I'm
just
shopping at Ross for my wedding shoes?
It's surprising to me, yes, but
Really?
well, most people come here who are down on their luck. Most of our shoes are mismatched. If you had not noticed, we don't even have general aisles. It's just all a hodgepodge, more of a tent city than a department store.
Listen, if you don't make this right, I'm going off right now.
Okay, well, we don't need that. We're gonna keep it calm. How can I make this right?
Is it because
for you?
I'm a white woman in America right now that you're treating me this way?
No, not at all. I never knew it to be a bad time for you.
Oh, don't get me started. Don't get me started.
What's been going on?
McDonald's earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
Same issue. I had a coupon.
Mm-hmm.
They said expired.
Oh, the coupons do that. They do have a, so that people can't just keep them in perpetuity.
It feels like these franchises are out to get me.
Well, I mean, I know it can feel that way to take things personal, but it's just policy.
Sir, it's really hard to be upset with you when your tone sounds like honeydew on a Sunday morning.
Oh, I've heard that. I've heard that before. It's really a good setup for me because it's just my natural tone. I know how to diffuse things thanks to my home life. Being the father of a son with autism who used to throw gigantic tantrums that would make the police come, and if the police came, they would probably see that I wasn't living that well. So I had to make sure we kept things nice and calm.
Well, when you put it like that, my coupon doesn't seem to be that big of an issue.
Well, it's just perspective. It's, what's a big issue to me and what's a big issue to you could be different things. You said you got a wedding coming up. I mean, but I don't see the man with you. Is the relationship that solid?
I mean, it could be solider.
Well, I would think it would be. I know if you were my bride, I would never have you here at a Ross dress for less. You'd be wearing Jimmy Choo's, red bottoms. I mean, that's the type of things that I like to just provide for my woman.
Where would you take me?
Where have you never been?
Marshall's.
Oh, I take you to Marshall's. I take you to Marshall's. I take you to Bloomies.
Kohl's.
Oh, I take you to Kohl's. And you don't even need a coupon. But unless it's a really good coupon, then what's the point of wasting it,
I gotta go. My ride's here.
You go.
I came by plane.
Well, I'm real confused about your finances.
I splurged all the money on the plane. I can't afford anything else. I have to. That's why I shop at Rouse. The man I married, he spends all of our money on private planes.
Well, before you go, why don't you take this mix of colognes, the gift set to him? Maybe give it to him as a parting gift. Let him know you got a new thing going.
I'm calling the cops on you.
Well, checkmate.
After all that. Well, maybe close with one more little song.
Okay.
Because you've already done sax talk. Your last sax talk on the show was fantastic.
Thank you.
I don't think I'm going to have you do another sax talk.
Okay.
Go back and watch Ron's first episode of Jeremiah Wonders. He shares the story of his first threesome. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
He uses a voice modulator the entire time. It's really good. It's a classic sax talk. That whole episode I'm a big fan of, so just go back and watch that now. This one comes from local space cadet. As a stepdad to a kid with autism, I was wondering if Ron found there to be specific hurdles to being a father to a son with autism that he didn't expect. Also, are there any quirky or funny things he does due to him being on the spectrum?
Yeah, of course. I mean, a lot of things. I think just the weirdest things, because my son is with me 24/7, and once he was at school back in the day, is that you really get used to that being the norm, and so that's fine. And you're like, this is life, and this is thing, and he's just a normal kid to me, and I love him. And then it wouldn't be until you'd be in like mixed company and you see some like neurotypical kids and you'd be like, oh, like this is a little different. Like I think it's different. My son has a little more trouble with certain things. Or even like recently going to some school meetings and them being like, well, he's graduating this year, but he doesn't get like a real diploma. And I was like, what? What do you mean? And it's just kind of like constantly retraining my mind about
that's a real thing, that like with the diploma issue.
Yeah, well, it's like because he doesn't reach the equivalency of like certain math credits or standardized testing things. So he'll have to go to, or I'll have to go. He can do anything, but we're gonna do a transitional school, get some life skills, see what else we want to do. It's just about like, I mean, I always said like getting rid of any expectations of what you think parenthood is, and then just doing whatever fits your kid has been my MO. But so many freaking positives and so many weird stories. Like just him now, it's been transitioning from like us being more scared about him tantrums and jumping out of windows or him not eating, and now it's more like behavioral things and getting him to understand how to interact in the world. And my favorite thing is like that we share a Spotify account and seeing his favorite songs. When they do the wrap up at the end of the year. And my son's favorite song of last year was the sound effect of bees buzzing through a meadow.
All right, that's pleasant.
Yeah. Just playing it around his room. Different sound
What if
effects.
that's like his pump up song? Like we all have ours. Like these bees in the meadows. Like okay,
buzz,
okay,
buzz,
game on.
Buzz, yeah. And even now, like
other people's are like M&Ms. I can swallow up, bottle up.
He's gonna turn 18 in a few weeks, and he always makes a little birthday list, and they're always fun. And he's been a big rule follower, so he refused to watch like PG-13 movies until he was 13. He wouldn't watch. He's like, oh, I can watch R-rated movies now because I'm 17.
Right,
and
that's how I think that's sometimes how my my wife has a brother with autism, and I think he's very similar in that way. Like Like he asked for a friend who's also on the spectrum to hang out recently, and she just said, not until everyone's vaccinated. We can't hang out until everyone has it. You know, it's like very like black and white kind of thing.
Yeah, very much rule following. And so so now my son's turning 18 and he wrote his little birthday list that he does every year. And it's like NC-17 movies, adult toys. And I'm like,
That's awesome.
I'm like, I'm not so sure you know what you're getting into, but if you want it.
They did there's a slight mess up on when my special first got released on Amazon, where it was showing up as NC-17 for people. And I literally had to like inquire about it, and they'd like change it. I think it says 16 up now or something like that, but it just said, I'm like, this just looks weird. It's saying, I'm like, why did that get it? And it changed over time, but it was just something that like in the system where it got labeled as that, and people were like, whoa, Jeremiah getting edgy, NC-17. I'm like, let me take care of this.
Yeah, you tuned into something called Family Reunion with an NC-17 rating, and you that's a different clientele.
Yeah. I just get the weirdest fan base out of it. It's like, yeah, I'm into this.
This wasn't what I was looking for, but he's funny.
Yeah. It's my kind of comic right here. I mean, that's just good advice for me. Becoming a new dad is what you said about taking the expectations of parenting and kind of throwing them out the window and just focusing on what works for that kid in particular. Yeah. So I will definitely.
Yeah, one size doesn't fit all.
Those words.
Anything, you know. So just whatever works for your kid to make your kid and your life and your family happy, and doesn't have to be what works for anybody else.
I love that. And we're gonna end this show with a special sing along to one of your favorite songs.
Ooh, which one?
I love the colorful clothes she wears. And the way the sunlight plays upon her hair. I hear the sound of a gentle word on the wind that lifts her perfume through the air.
I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me excitations. I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me excitations. Good vibrations. She's giving me excitations. I'm picking up good vibrations.
Close my eyes. She's somehow closer now. Softly smile. I know she must be kind. When I look in her eyes, she goes with me to a blossom world.
I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me excitations. I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me excitations. I'm picking up good. I never knew what
Excitation?
What
I don't know
is
what an excitation is.
I never knew.
Me
I
neither.
thought this whole time I thought it was expectations.
Yeah, I didn't know it was excitations.
Me either.
Have you ever even heard that word excitation before?
No, is it like a citation that you give to your ex? She says you're not longer my boyfriend. You're not allowed to be here. You're breaking this restraining order. I'm giving you excitation. Excitation is a restraining order.
That is.
Yeah. I didn't know. It's all on him. He thinks he's giving good vibrations.
Oh, man.
But she gave him a restraining order.
There's so many layers to this song.
Excitations.
Get 100 yards away from me. I'm a corner police.
Oh wait, you're the police.
I knew I should have never dated you. You got too much authority. And you never been married before, and you're 45, and that's a red flag.
Can I just say, you're always just a pleasure to see, let alone get to riff with and do comedy with. Check out Ron's new show.
Please, Chopped 420. It is food. It is weed. It is judging. It is comedy. It's me. It's on Discovery Plus on 420. I love it, and I would love to keep doing it. Please watch it.
Check out his specials, his albums. Watch us on Twitch together in the future. And I love you, buddy. Thanks so much for being here.
Oh, I love you, Jeremiah. You made my day. Thank you.